Good morning, everybody. Auronnj here with another War of the Visions video, and today is episode number 1 of Let's Love Lancers, which is going to be the first series in our physical DPS series. Physical DPS is going to be by far the broadest range of characters we've covered, and so we've voted to do it separated by damage type. We're going to base that on their main jobs damage type, right? Because that's the weapon they can equip. So in this Lancer series, that's spears. We're going to do spear users in this first little mini series inside of the physical DPS mega series, you could say. So anyway, this is episode 1 of Let's Love Lancers, and I hope there was no doubt who we were going to kick this season off with. That's the goddess. That'd be Aileen, the main character of the channel and my favorite character in this game. So without further ado, let's throw some graphics on the screen. Let's talk about Aileen. And this is going to be a bit of a bittersweet review for me because, well, she's been my main character in the game since the beginning, and that means she's been out since the beginning. Alright, I have a lot to say here, but I'm going to condense it, keep it as brief as I can. First, here's her stats and her support abilities. There are 3 stats that I like to start talking about when I'm talking about Aileen, and I think they make her the most relevant. I'm going to highlight those now. That is her attack, her agility, and her slash resist. The rest of her stats, if they're worth mentioning, it's because they're not very good. But anyway, her attack, 435 base, that's very, very high. That is one of the highest base attacks in the game. For a long time, it was the highest base attack in the game. But, newer units have come out, whatever. That's still a great starting point if you're thinking about building this unit. That is a big strength of hers. You want to highlight that and start there. Also, her slash resist is 20 base. That's another big strength of hers and a place you can look to start building. Okay, but let's look at that other highlighted stat, agility, 49. Now, if you've been watching any of the rest of these series, this is one of the lowest base agilities we've started with for a UR unit. There's Engelbert out there who I guess is slower, and we made him work, so we can make Aileen work with 49 agility. But these are the 3 stats I keep forefront in my mind when I'm building this character. Now, for her support abilities, we've highlighted only one, because I think it's the only great support ability she has. That's self-sacrifice. A 60% increase in attack at a trade-off of a minus 8% resistance across the board. It's a great support ability. Self-sacrifice, I love it. I run it consistently. However, you can immediately see it does not synergize very well with one of her main strengths, which is slash resistance. You're immediately having to choose to sacrifice one of her best stats to boost or subtract from the other. And that feels awkward, and people who play Aileen know how awkward that feels. Now, the rest of her support abilities, ones that are grayed out, they're all good. You throw any one of those on there. I usually run Pierce Mastery, but they're all fine, but they're just fine. They're not, special. And right there is one thing I want to hit on. She's an old unit. Old units lacked those special abilities that these newer units are getting. Now, I'm going to go into a mini talk about EX jobs and why I totally support EX jobs in this game as opposed to just flooding us with only new characters, because we're going to keep getting new characters. That's how the game makes money. But at least with EX jobs coming out and those EX jobs going to our older characters, there's hope for people like Aileen getting a boost, right? I'm not going to go into her EX jobs yet. That review is coming soon enough. She's one of the first characters who's going to get one. We already know that. Look forward to that video and some Aileen highlight reel videos when that comes out. Okay, we've talked about stats and how I feel how her stats are kind of awkward. I want to put some other graphics on the screen there real quick and talk about how you can further amplify her good attributes with gear and espers. So espers, let's start there. I think there's 2 espers that Aileen really wants to use, and that's either Siren or Odin. I say that because they both have a ton of agility. These are 2 of the highest agility espers in the game, and now you're looking at boosting that 49 agility to something more respectable with just the Esper. That's really important for her. Now, if you're running Siren, Siren's going to give her some pierce attack and some slash resist. So, okay, you're boosting damage. But Siren does not have very good attack stat, so again, you're having to sacrifice something. Odin, you're not getting any pierce attack, but you are getting human killer and slash resist and some attack. So Odin is probably the one I use the most, and it has one more agility, but Siren, if you're going resist build, is also very viable if you want to use Odin on somebody else. Okay, gear real quick. I think the Wind Spear is just a must for Aileen because it has agility on it. Agility is so important for Aileen. Now, if you run the Wind Spear, you can run Uldoa's Apron because you don't need the agility from Bells anymore, and you'll like the defense penetration that Uldoa's Apron is giving you more. If you don't have Wind Spear, I think Aileen needs Bells for the agility boost and the AP regen. I think Eileen's best armor is either the golden armor or the plat helm. I put golden armor on here because it's more accessible. You can do it in those key jobs. Okay, that's what I wanted to say for gear and espers. Those are what I like on her. Now I'm going to put her stats on the screen. If you've kind of followed my advice and pieced together some kind of build with those, and you're getting the buffs from the rest of your group, this is what her stat line can look like, right? You're up to 3701 HP. Your attack has boosted over 1100. She was one of the first units in this game that you could just shove your attack north of 1000, and she can get it significantly north of 1000. Her agility's up to 76. Okay, we're moving now. Unfortunately, her move and jumper still 1. So even though she's moving more often, she's still not moving very far, and that's a problem. Another problem. Her slash resist has gone up to 35. Okay, that's fine, but that's not like whisper levels of good. And because you're running self-sacrifice, the rest of her resists are now in the dumpster. Like, they're bad. You guys, they're bad. But that is what it is. That's what we get from this unit. Let's jump in to some team building, though. And let's see how she actually functions in a fight, right? Something I've done a whole lot. So I'll give you my commentary on that while we watch. Okay, so first, let's check out a team with Aileen on it and kind of give you a thought behind what this team's supposed to do. Alright, we're going to go with a team that is good slash resistance. We're going to look for some slashing units, but notice we're not building like a purely slash resistant team. We don't have a card in here boosting that. We just have some golden armors and some units that are pretty good against slash in general. We are going all out attack with this team. I think the way to go here is you want to just kill things, right? Like, Aileen needs to be killing things with one shot to be effective. So we're going to give her Titan. Titan gives Aileen a nice buff. It has the dex, the attack, all that. Gives Maneater on physical attack, pierce attack up to the person using it, and for special units, attack plus 30%. Those special units being Earth and Water, Lancers, Dragoons, Valkyries, etc. So Aileen and Glaciella, essentially. Aileen really likes wearing that card. We're going to run our Pierce attack up on Warrior of Light with dashing over snowy fields, which will give him a little agility boost and give the whole group Pierce attack up 35. And then we're going to run Ifrit just as a, hey, we need to do a lot of damage, so please bring the pain. Alright, what do Eileen's stats look like? We're at about 70 agility, which is pretty close to where we showed you kind of end up if you build her right. Then 3700 HP, okay. 1191 attack. That's good. Is it enough, though, to one-shot things? That's going to be the big deal. As far as abilities, her main job, we're going to leave all this on. Shadow Stick, nice little AoE attack. Sharp Spear, good buff. Vacuum Slash hits really, really hard. And Earthen Glory hits really, really hard. And both of these are AoE abilities. So, if she can get close to things, she can really drop some big AoE, and hopefully we get to see a little bit of that. Okay, in her Lancer sub-job, we're going to leave Nighthawk on. This is her ranged attack ability, and makes her into like a spear-throwing girl. And it says it does small damage, but this hits really hard from Aileen. And a lot of times with these maps being hard to navigate with her move 3 and jump 1, she's relegated to like a spear throwing unit. And I have a feeling we might see that in these matches. Okay, so let's go. Let's find a, we'll find a Dark Boys team. Like, here's a Dark Boys team. Okay, Kayn, Ruinstern, Dwayne. Pretty meta team. Let's see how our Spear Girls plus Warrior of Light handle with that. Alright. What are we looking for from Aileen? Let's talk about that. Well, we are looking for her to either buff herself on turn 1 with Uldoa's Apron, or to be in range to throw a spear on turn 1 if Kayn comes too far forward. Essentially, her job in this group, if Kayn moves up, which he did, is to duel him. We need her to just kill him from up on this mountain with her spear throw. So here it is. Oh my gosh. Almost. That was really dang close. Didn't happen though. If it would have killed him, he would have stayed dead because he hadn't buffed Courage yet. Unfortunately, his jump is going to end Glaciela's life. And now Aileen is out of AP, right? She can't spear throw again. So she's got to buff and just move forward. And now we're like, uh-oh. Can she live through both of these attacks to even get to do another thing? No, she can't. Yeah, that was... There you go. That was a pretty good highlight of how close Aileen is to still being great and how she just fell a little bit short. Look at this HP right here. Had she killed Kayn, this is a completely different fight. Glaciela's still alive, gets another turn, puts a bunch of damage on these guys. Warrior of Light is still up there tanking, and Aileen is able to get in there and start brawling. But she fell exactly that much damage short. Okay, let's find another fight and see if she can do better. Okay, so this squad is a 100% slashing squad with Dwayne, Ruinstern, and Gilgamesh. One of the things I was thinking about in between fights here was, had Aileen been able to buff her defense pin, she would have killed Kayn in one hit. So we needed him to just not come forward as much. But Kayn is faster than Aileen, so he's always going to move first. And a lot of Kayn's run those like TMRs that give him that move +1, and that got him into range for the spear throw. So this group that we're fighting won't come forward as much. This will give Aileen a chance to buff herself, stay back, and then work her way into range after buffing. Now, will she be too late to do anything? Well, that's a different question. We'll have to see. Enemy team moving up. Ruinstern finds a Hazard Crusher on Glaciela, almost kills her. Dwayne is out here buffing everybody's slash attack. That's scary. Shift attack from Warrior of Light. That's good. So he's in a place where he's going to be able to tank a few hits without drawing everybody else into the fight. I say that, then Glaciela draws herself into Kotetsu range and dies. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But we'll see. Everybody's kind of low. Maybe Aileen can clean this up. She might. Dwayne moving forward. Gilgamesh moving forward. Let's see what Aileen can do. Okay, Earthen Glory. Big damage. Double kill. That did over 7,000 damage to Ruinstern. So there you see some of the power of Aileen. Now, here's her limit break. Is this enough to kill Gilgamesh? 3,900, not enough. And a crystal spawns. He moves to the crystal. So can she kill him with a second attack? Oh my, trolled by our own dead Warrior of Light's body turning into a crystal. Or I'm sorry, our own dead Glaciela's body. Otherwise, Aileen had the 1v3 there maybe. It would have depended on a lot of things. But, okay, we lost the fight again. However, you could see Aileen's damage potential put on display there. We just need another way of keeping everyone else alive for a little bit. That seems to be the problem. Okay, for our third fight, we're going to go to a different type of squad, right? We've tried to pick on the Dark Boys, and the Dark Boys just seem too new, limited, and double cost for an Aileen team to handle. So we've made an adjustment. We've put a healer into the group. We're going to have Warrior of Light try and sustain a little more, and we're going to see if Aileen can solo DPS against slightly older units. So here we have Kilfey, Agrius, Orlandu. Still 3 units you see a ton of in Arena, in Guild Wars, and Agrius is still top tier, right? So notice in this group, Orlandu's here. Aileen's original purpose, the original reason I started using and loving her, was because Orlandu was everywhere, and she pretty much hard counters him. Like, her kit and her ability sets and resists and all that are basically anti-Orlandu, So let's see how she does into a team that runs him. Alright, so Warrior of Light moving forward. Ayaka going to be giving out that haste. We're going to like haste a lot in this slower group that we're running. Agrius walks forward and limit breaks. Okay, we're probably looking at a confuse on Warrior of Light right here. Like, yeah, you can basically just assume that's going to hit because my Warrior of Light's running 97 Faith. Now, Ayaka charging a spell, that's probably Esuna. And nice damage from Nighthawk there for Aileen on the enemy tank. So good, another highlight of Eileen's like really high damage potential. Okay, Warrior of Light gets that Esuna, moves forward, good. Landu's still buffing. This team's Orlandu does a pretty good job of not running out and getting, crushed early. So that's something. Good. Agrius does not land stop on our tank, so she did not go 100% with her limit breaks in this game. Killfei charging something, and Burst Slash from Aileen absolutely crushes those two units. There we go. That's the kind of thing we're looking for from Aileen. Get close, get to that AoE range that she has, and get double kills, get triple kills. That was sweet. She hit them hard. Okay, Landu gets his limit break off, does pretty good damage. Eileen's turn again. Regular attacks him for 5,500 damage. So you really got to see, he dropped his limit break on her and hit her for about half her HP. She poked him in the side for 5,500. So she really does hard counter him. And that is this fight did a really good job actually of highlighting Eileen's strength. We just needed to not fight Kane and Dwayne and Ruinstern and those like newer super meta units. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's go to the grading screen. Let's give Aileen a grade and see where she falls and wrap this episode up. So here we go. I've streamlined this part of the video a little bit more just to keep the length a little bit shorter. I haven't quite found that like perfect length for these videos yet, but you see her scores on the left. I'm going to quickly just go line by line. We're going to use the same metrics we use for the magic DPSs. Whatever. We're using the same metrics we use for them as we're using for our physical damage characters. We'll just put a little spin on it when we talk about it. So damage. I think you saw Aileen does a lot of damage. I'm going to give her a 90. She was originally meant to be that like super high damage character in this game. She still fills that role. And to me, she's like that breaking point for you do a level of damage. Cool. So great start. But then you see the scores fall off, right? Her Aoe ability is still really good, but she's got to get close. She doesn't have that like ranged cross-base AoE attack that so many of these new characters have. And that holds her back. She really needs to get in there and brawl to do damage. But she still, when she can, you saw her AoE is insane. So I'll give her a respectable score. It's just an old, outdated version score, 80. Okay, utility, she can buff herself, 70. Not a lot to say there. She doesn't really bring utility for the group. She just brings her own self buffs, so 70. Movement, 65. I think you could see in the videos, 3-1 move struggles on these newer maps. We just don't have this is a flat map, everybody run at each other maps like we used to. She feels old with her movement. And especially with the combination of her movement and her needing to get close to people to kill them, doesn't make a lot of sense in the current game. Okay, speed, I'll give her a 70. You can make her speed respectable, but you saw we had to like focus on that. I'd rather not have to focus that hard on making her speed acceptable, but I'll give her a 70. Just, it's not really good. Durability, okay. Against Slash, she's pretty durable. Against Frederica, Nivlu, she's going to be pretty durable. Orlandu, she'll destroy him. Other things are not good for her. So I'm going to give her an 80 and just say that, like, if you run her into the right things, she's going to be pretty durable. But I wouldn't recommend her for, like, Guild Wars defense or something like that, where you're not going to get to pick your opponents. Okay, so overall, what score are we giving Aileen? Well, I think if you average those out, you're going to get about 110. She's going to be the highest score unit in the game so far, and she's my favorite unit, so I give her 110. Yeah, I'm lying. She's not actually getting 110. Let's go with something more like an 80, right? Usable, high ceiling. High ceiling on this unit with all that attack, but low floor. And just needs an update. Like, I can't stress enough how excited I am for Aileen's EX jobs, so we can see what they can do to modernize her a little bit. Can they make her a Drain Force monster, which I've heard she could be? Can she be something more than a spear-throwing, slow melee unit? I hope so. So I'm going to give her an 80 for now. You guys tell me what you think about her. Leave me some comments. Make me feel good about my girl here. She is my favorite unit in the game for all of the reasons that don't matter. And yeah, anyway, that's it. Alright, so thank you for watching, everybody. The rest of the Lancer series is coming soon. That's Kane, Glaciella, all those girls. So yeah, leave me some comments, throw me a subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next video.